Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah. Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Double honors to the men that taught our elders. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Abin from Great Millstone, Houston, back with another lesson. I want to start out here in Psalms chapter 74 and verse 18. Remember this, that the enemy hath reproached, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, and that the foolish people have blasphemed thy name. And I looked up that word blaspheme, and essentially it's Na'a Tazah, which means to essentially to despise. So the foolish people have despised the Most High's name and the Most High's people. you know, let's go get that in Job 9 and 24. This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the wicked, which is Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the pale male, has declared that he is the Lord's people, when clearly in the book, in the Holy Scriptures, the Lord's people are depicted as dark-skinned people. There are several accounts, where the Lord, in the book where it says that the Lord's people were dark-skinned people. For instance, when Miriam spoke against Moses, she was turned leprous, white as snow. So, and Aaron said, hey, please don't put this sin upon me. So having leprosy is essentially a sin. The Lord's gonna, create a people and put them in a land, and then here it is, the sun makes them sick and they can't live in the land. Come on, let's do a little bit of, I guess, deductive reasoning. So the children of Israel were in captivity under the Egyptians, and Moses passed as an Egyptian, right? And they had to work, slave out in the sun for hundreds of years. So, we all know that the so-called white man, he gets skin cancer. And we know that those people in the land, those sombrero paquitos, they have one of the highest skin cancer rates in the world. But let's get back to the scriptures. Okay. That was that Job 9 and 24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, well, here, let's go to this is Job chapter 30 and verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. So Job, being an Israelite, he said his skin is black upon him, and his bones were burned with heat. Let's get another precept. Let's get Lamentation. Okay, this is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaved to their bones as it withered. It has become like a stick. So that word visage, I'm not able to look it up in the Hebrew right now, but visage means the way that you look. You know, I think there's a note in here. Yeah, visage, it says appearance. Their visage, their appearance is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. Okay, let's get another one in. This is Lamentations 5:10. Our skin was black like an oven, and because of the terrible famine. Yeah, because of the terrible famine. And I had looked up that verse in Job 30:30 in the NLT, and it says, "My skin has turned dark, and my bones burn. My bones burn with fever." Okay, that's not what it says. I mean, so yeah, that's not what it says. It said that Job 30:30, it says, "My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat." In the NLT, it says, "My skin has turned dark, and my bones burn with fever." I mean, and that's an example of what the so-called white man has done continually. He has painted over the faces of the judges. It's in the power of his hands to do these things. Who else controls the media and is over religion? I mean, in his new translations, he takes all of this out, because I mean, and they've been doing this from the old time. Let me get that in First Maccabees. You have to forgive me. I'm using my sword, recording on my phone. So okay, this is First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 46. "Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Mashpah over against Jerusalem. For in Mashpah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and put ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." Okay, so I mean, this is the so-called white man has been doing this for a long time. I mean, the evidence is everywhere. Like in Egypt, they were blowing the noses off of the Sphinx, the noses and the lips. You got all of these different busts, essentially sculptures of heads where everything is still intact except for the nose and the lips. I mean, who does that? I mean, we understand that it's divinely inspired, but the so-called white man is being found out. He's being found out. He's nothing but a liar, and the Lord is exposing him for who he is, and nobody else has done these things. The so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, they have not been going around the earth and covering over pictures and trying to make themselves somebody that they're not. They've not gone all over the earth rape, robbing, and killing, and stealing, and becoming the people of the land. I mean, what happened in Australia? the so-called white man made Australia a penal colony. He sent all of his criminals to a new land because they were too, because they were beasts, vile beasts. So they sent them to Australia, and guess what they did? Run amok. Now they're the Australians, and the people of that land, they've totally destroyed. The same thing in the Americas. I mean, they sent all of their criminals and crooks to the Americas, and they came over here. I mean, like the famous quote from Cristobal Colon or Christopher Columbus. It said that the people are just so nice, it would be a disservice not to put them in slavery. I mean, so, the white man is being exposed on all levels. I mean, he's viler than the earth, let's go back to that Job 30, and then we'll close it out. This is Job chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, and whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock." So, basically this pale male, he's got the Lord's people in derision. And Job is saying he wouldn't even put them with the dogs of his flock, because you know how the pale male gets down. It's not nothing for him to lay down with an animal. It's nothing for him, it's nothing for him to lay down with an animal. Yeah, whereto the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste. Who cut up mallows by the bushel and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, and under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now am I their song, yeah, I am their byword. And that's what happened. The Most High, because of our disobedience, he put this beast over top of us. So what we need to do is, we're in that time of Ezekiel 37. We need to, the dry bones are waking up, and we're understanding who our power is, and that we've sinned against the Lord. It's our fault. So, but that still doesn't acquit this Esau, the so-called white man, the pale male. It doesn't acquit him, because, like I said, he's been going all around the earth, painting over the faces, because it's in the power of his hands. Let me go on and get that, and then I'll go ahead and close out. So it's taking me This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So I mean, who does that describe? I mean, who does that describe? You know, because the Lord said that, you know, he was going to set up the basis of men to rule over, you know, his earth. So, I mean, hey, it's nobody else but Esau Edom, the so-called white man. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Like I said, this is hopefully this lesson was edifying, you know, and keep pushing. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.